Welcome to the Mindset Coach podcast, brought to you by the Mindset Coach Academy. I'm Lara Young, your host and Master Certified Coach. Whether you're a seasoned coach or just starting your coaching career, this podcast is your go-to resource for all things mindset, coaching, and personal development. Each week, we bring you expert insights, practical strategies, and inspirational stories to help you become the best coach you can be. Our guests range from leading industry professionals to successful mindset coaches who share their secrets for creating lasting change. Plus, I'll be answering your burning questions and sharing tips from our ICF and multi-accredited Mindset Coach Certification program. So, if you're ready to elevate your coaching game, stay tuned and let's dive into today's episode. One of the things that I'm most proud of about the work we do here at the Mindset Coach Academy is that we really are training the next generation of world-class coaches and specifically mindset coaches. And if you've heard any other episodes of my podcast, you'll know that mindset coaching really is the foundation of all coaching. And today I'm going to dive into a question that I'm getting asked more and more frequently, and that is about some of the distinctions between the different types of certification and also the difference between ICF, International Coaching Federation, ACC and PCC levels, and how to know what coaching certification is right for you. And I think, finding the right certification can be a bit of a minefield. There are lots to choose from. And there are also lots of people out there who are running certifications who have incredibly great marketing. But actually, when you take the time to peel back the layers, there's not much rigor, there's not much robustness, and there's certainly not actually necessarily always a fully recognized, globally recognized certification behind that program that they're offering. So, if you've been exploring coach training, you've probably seen these acronyms everywhere, but few people actually explain what they mean, what the paths involved, and how your choice shapes the kind of coach that you become. So whether you're brand new to coaching or you've already started coaching and you really want to deepen your skills, this episode will give you the clarity on your options and a peek inside what makes the Mindset Coach Academy programs so unique in the marketplace. So let's begin here first of all. We know that at the moment, 2025, the coaching industry is booming and it's also crowded because anyone can technically call themselves a coach. You don't need a coaching certification in order to start coaching. But what I'm finding is that clients today are becoming more discerning than ever. They're searching out and they're looking for coaches who don't just talk about mindset. They know how to work with the mind. They're really looking for coaches who can help them shift not only what they think, but also how they think, feel, and behave. And that's exactly why I created the Mindset Coach Academy. When I first started designing our certification pathways, my goal was to really go beyond this surface level of coaching. I wanted to help coaches to move past things like positive affirmations and vision boards and really be able to facilitate real lasting change. And that's the kind of change that happens when you work at the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious levels of the mind. When I was putting this together, I was really conscious that we do need to have the tools, the skills, the frameworks as coaches to be able to go beyond that surface level, to be able to help people to have those insights and uncover what's really holding them back. Why do they keep sabotaging themselves? Why on the face of it do clients have everything they need, all of the resources, all of the time, all of the energy, all of the motivation, and yet something within them is preventing them from moving forward? And that's really what I wanted to enable and equip the coaches who come through the program to be able to work with and to be able to create real lasting transformation around. And so our ICF level 2 or PCC level mindset coach certification is unlike anything else available today. And over the past 7.5, 8 years, we've really honed it to be the best, I think, program in the world. And why do I say that? I say it's because it is a truly comprehensive program where you earn multiple internationally recognized qualifications all within one integrated pathway. So you don't need to go and add on and bolt on different types of coaching or coaching related certifications to equip you with the skills to work at those different levels, because it's all here built into one program. And I want to be really clear about this, because sometimes people will offer toolkits or techniques from certain disciplines, like, for example, from NLP, but they don't actually include the full rigorous certification that is that next level of robustness, and also the next level of confidence for you and your clients to know that you actually have done the study, you've got the education, you've got the practice, and you know how to actually integrate and use these tools in your coaching work with your clients. I'd love to now just go through with you what is included and the reasons why I've included these different modalities. So in our Mindset Coach certification program, you become an NLP practitioner and an NLP coach. And these skills are really essential because they help you to understand and reshape the language and structure of the mind. Now, I want to say that again because this is really, really powerful. It is to help you as a coach to understand and reshape the language and the structure of the mind, how your clients are perceiving the world around them, how they're perceiving themselves, what do they believe about themselves and other people, how do they talk to themselves, and being able to actually interpret that, read between the lines, mind the gap between what they're saying and not saying, and understand how the structure of their language is actually creating their reality is so powerful. And then having the frameworks and the tools to help them to create change around whether it's beliefs or emotions or values is incredibly powerful. Now, the next is timeline therapy practitioner. Now, timeline therapy is a really powerful modality that helps our clients to release limiting beliefs, limiting decisions, and negative emotions that are keeping them stuck in the past. And timeline therapy, we do work along the Gestalt. It's all to do with the emotions, with our memories, with our history. It's content free. It's a really gentle modality for us to use, but it really does help us to release those past patterns from the past, to release those patterns from the root so that our clients can be free of them. They can stop self-sabotaging. They can stop feeling those negative emotions that hold them back. They can stop those limiting beliefs, those limiting decisions, those fears, those doubts, those insecurities that keep them in place. The next is our hypnosis practitioner, and this is really about working with the unconscious mind and unlocking the power of the unconscious mind for deep, lasting transformation. And one of the things I love most about hypnotherapy is that it is a really gentle modality. All your clients need to do is to relax and listen to the sound of your voice, and you can use it to help them change habits, install new habits. You can use it to be able to help them to relax, have a good night's sleep. And oftentimes, depending on your niche, it may be that a good night's sleep is exactly one of the things that you can help your clients with, to enable them to feel fresh, to feel motivated, to feel able to take action to achieve their goals. And of course, hypnotherapy can also be used for embedding and installing those positive emotional states like motivation, like confidence, like relaxation, like joy and happiness. So it's very, very versatile, very gentle. And I think it's one of those things that every coach really should have in their toolkit. Now, the next thing that we include, and this is our proprietary Mindset Dimensions Coach certification. Now, Mindset Dimensions, if you've ever done something like a DISC or a Hogan or a Myers-Briggs profile, Mindset Dimensions is very similar to that, but with Mindset Dimensions, not only do we measure behavioral preferences, so whether someone has a preference for being more on the introversion, extroversion scale or global or detailed, we actually measure our clients' emotional frequency. How often are they experiencing positive or resourceful emotions? How often are they experiencing negative or unresourceful emotions? We explore values across 8 different areas of their life so that you can do the really deep value-based work that a lot of coaches don't delve into, and yet which is so revealing and so powerful to help your clients to gain those values and those insights about what is important to them, what motivates them, what really does make them tick. We measure beliefs. We measure 4 different types of beliefs. We measure self-efficacy. We measure worthiness, helplessness, and hopelessness. And we also measure language preferences, and we measure communication style. And these all integrate to form this really powerful web of mindset dimensions that enable us to work on the correct levers with our clients. They enable us to pinpoint exactly where our client may be being held back, consciously or unconsciously. And of course, we also have your ICF accredited coaching certification, and this provides global recognition and professional credibility. And so each of these different elements, each of these different modalities, it's not about just reading a book. It's about getting the full certification in each of these modalities. And that's what I love about the structure of our program and the robustness of it, that you are really learning these in such a deep way. And you're also learning them in a way that is very experiential. You learn to coach on our program by coaching, by being coached, so that for every tool that you learn, every technique, you experience it not just from the coach's perspective, but also as a client. And you know, therefore, just how powerful it is. And when you know how powerful a technique is, that transmits when you use it with your own clients. And, I think that opens up learning and growth and competence to a whole new level. And then it also has an impact, of course, on your confidence as a coach when you go to use these techniques with your own clients. So in addition to all of this, we also integrate the latest insights from neuroscience and positive psychology, because sustainable change isn't just emotional, it's also biological. And so you'll learn how to apply brain-based coaching strategies and evidence-based techniques to help clients rewire their patterns, enhance focus, and build resilient, high-performing habits. In fact, our habit work on the program is very, very powerful. And imagine being able to work with habits at the conscious level, the subconscious level, and then really including hypnotherapy, as I mentioned earlier, to embed and install those habits with your clients. So every element of this program has been intentionally designed and rigorously tested over, as I say, 7.5, 8 years now, to equip you with the full toolkit of a transformational coach, one who truly understands how the mind really works and how to facilitate measurable, lasting results. And that brings us to the International Coaching Federation, or the ICF. Now, the ICF is a self-appointed body. They are recognized as the global gold standard in professional coach training. And we are accredited at the ICF ACC Level 1, the ICF PCC Level 2 for our programs. And we also have continuing coach education credits for our programs as well. And the ICF ensures that your coaching meets the highest ethical, professional, and competency standards. And that's really what provides the foundation for your skills, so that when you say, I'm an ICF certified coach, you're signaling that credibility, that rigor, and that integrity. You know that you meet those competencies, and we ensure that we help you to meet those competencies through our mentor coaching processes, which are included in our programs as well. And what I want to make clear here is that it's not about letters after your name. It's actually about what those letters say about your capability, your confidence, and your commitment to excellence. Have a question you'd like answered on the show? Or maybe there's a topic you'd love for us to dive deeper into? Reach out to us via social media or email us directly through our website. Your input helps us create content that's relevant and valuable to you. Remember, this podcast is here to support you on your coaching journey. So please do connect with us. We can't wait to hear from you. So I've mentioned a few different modalities, and I've mentioned a few different levels here in terms of credentialing. So let's break down the difference between ACC, Associate Certified Coach, and PCC, Professional Certified Coach. So what's the difference between those two levels? Because understanding the levels is going to help you to choose your next best step. So the ACC, or the Associate Certified Coach, is the entry-level credential for professional coaches. It requires at least 60 hours of accredited coach training and 100 hours of coaching experience. At the Mindset Coach Academy, our Level 1 ACC Mindset Coach certification gives you all the training, the mental coaching hours, and the assessment hours you need to meet those requirements. Plus, you're also going to graduate with practical tools from NLP, timeline therapy, and positive psychology to immediately create powerful shifts for your clients. And then we move to the PCC, which stands for Professional Certified Coach. And this is the next level where you start to really deepen your mastery and expand your range as a coach. It requires 125 plus hours of training and 500 hours of coaching experience. And our Mindset Coach certification level 2 is built to meet and exceed those standards. It's for those coaches who want to become experts in human behavior, who don't just guide clients through goals, but help them understand and transform the underlying mindset that drives them. And I think this is absolutely key. And in fact, I think it's one of the things that helps you to understand the distinction as well. So with the ICF ACC level, you're really focusing on the goal with the client, and you're using models like GROW, like appreciative inquiry, strengths-based coaching. And then when you move to that next deeper level of coaching, you're focusing on the whole person, you're focusing on what makes your clients tick, you're focusing on their mindset. And it's really important that we recognize that there are these different and these deeper layers of coaching that we can get to when we do have this greater level of competence around self-awareness, around perspective taking, around understanding our clients' beliefs and their values and their emotional state and their energetic frequency. It just really does elevate at the same time as deepen your coaching to this whole new level. And when we think about the way that the programs are structured in the Mindset Coach Academy, we have our level 1 and level 2. So we have Mindset Coach and then Professional Mindset Coach. And then we also have the option for you to do our Master Mindset Coach certification, which again is taking it to an even higher level of coaching and a higher level of adeptness and skill. And that is also a level 2 program. So lots and lots of different options here. And, we have worked really hard to make sure that we are not just meeting those competencies, but we're exceeding them in every single thing that we do and in all the ways that we support you, including in building out your coaching business. So do you actually need certification to become a coach? And I've recorded an episode on this previously, and I'll talk about it again and again. And it may be something that you find is unusual for someone who runs a coach education company to say, but you don't actually need a certification to call yourself a coach. But if you want to build a thriving, sustainable business, if you want to deliver transformational results with integrity, then I believe that quality training isn't optional, it's essential. And not only that, I think ongoing professional development and personal development is essential for coaches too. So the thing is that when you do have a certification and you do study different tools and techniques and you practice with the rigor with which we practice, then you're honing your skill all the time. You're sharpening your saw. And I think, having those skills just gives you an edge, and it gives you the level of competence and confidence that you need. So it's the difference. I mean, hiring a personal trainer who knows about anatomy is going to be far more effective than one who doesn't. And I think that coaching really is just as nuanced, especially when you're working with someone's beliefs, their identity, and their emotions, like we do in mindset coaching. Because certification gives you structure, supervision, and a proven framework to ensure your client's safety and success. It also gives you confidence, the kind that comes from knowing exactly what to do when a client hits a block or resistance. Now, the other thing is, it's not all one size fits all because you have a range of different tools and techniques you can use from those different disciplines. It means that oftentimes when your client does hit a block, then you have different tools and techniques to draw from that you can best match with the way that your client is showing up, with their behavioral preferences, with where they are energetically. So you're really tailoring and creating absolutely bespoke interventions for your clients. And I really like that. I like that we have such an extensive toolkit and so many options for working with our clients. So, what does it actually look like inside the Mindset Coach certification? Well, when you join, you don't just attend classes, you're stepping into a complete transformation. And a lot of our people will say it has been the best experience for them, not just in terms of their professional development, but also personally as well. And the reason for that is, of course, because you are the client when you're in our coaching practice sessions, as well as the coach, you're experiencing coaching, you're experiencing these techniques firsthand. We don't do role plays. You're actually working on your own goals, your own dreams, the things that you want to bring into your life and into your business. And so you experience growth incredibly much as well. And when you do join us, you're going to graduate as a certified NLP practitioner and coach, a timeline therapy practitioner, a hypnosis practitioner, and a mindset dimensions coach as well. And of course, depending on the pathway you choose, you'll also graduate with your ICF ACC Level 1 training and mentoring, or your ICF PCC Level 2 training and mentoring, ready to apply for your ICF ACC or PCC credential, bearing in mind that you do need to accrue those coaching hours, 100, as I mentioned earlier, for the ACC level and 500 for PCC. And that sounds like a lot of hours. You can actually accrue them relatively quickly, but equally, I really value the fact that in order to get that credential, you need to spend the time once you've trained coaching people. So you're always honing your skills, you're refining your skills. You're not just getting a certificate and straight away going and getting that credential. You're getting the certificate, you're getting the foundations, you're getting the training and mentoring, and then you're going out and you're accruing those hours, which establish for you and for your potential clients that you have that level of knowledge and that level of experience that really does set you apart as a coach in the marketplace. We also make sure, of course, that our programs are live. We only train in live group sessions, and we have small groups as well. You'll have practice opportunities and implementation, and of course, all of your mentoring. And we also offer one-to-one business building sessions, because I really like to make sure that because you're a coach who's got all these skills, I want you out there coaching. We want to produce the best coaches in the world, and we want you out there working and coaching clients. I also help you to create your offers and your signature frameworks. Now, the interesting thing as well is that you can not only attend the live cohorts while we're running our programs, but you can also then access all of the resources in our resource vault, all of the replays, all of the theoretical information, all of the scripts, all of the videos, everything. It's so rich with resources. You have that for the lifetime of the program, which means you always have access to those resources. So how do you actually choose the right coach certification program for you? Well, if you are comparing, here are 5 things to look for before you enroll. First of all, I would definitely look for ICF accreditation, because without it, you can't apply for those global credentials, which does, I think, start to limit your opportunities. Live practice and supervision. Coaching is a verb, and it's a skill that you master through feedback and reflection, not by watching videos. I don't believe you can call yourself a coach if you haven't actually coached somebody. You also are in the company of experienced trainers. Now, you want to make sure that your trainers are people who have that level of not just teaching experience, but they have been out there coaching for many years. And you want to make sure you know what their background is, both in coaching and psychology. And at the Mindset Coach Academy, our trainers are all master level coaches, and we're all trained in a range of different disciplines, including psychology, including neuroscience, and we have backgrounds in business as well, and human performance. So, you really have that reassurance that you know that you're working with people who haven't just read a book or decided it would be a great idea to start an academy. We have years and years of experience coaching and training coaches. The next is that you want to have business support. The number of people I hear who participate in programs where there isn't that support to turn the certification into a successful, sustainable coaching practice, that's something that we pride ourselves on here. And again, there are other opportunities outside the certification that we offer as well for you to be ongoing in terms of having that support to build and grow your business, to create your messaging, your marketing, your offers, to be able to create things like lead magnets, and to really refine your niche, your ideal client, to explore your messaging. So it's a very holistic experience, and I would really encourage you to actually look for a program that includes those elements. And also, I think having a company that gives you access to a whole person approach. So choose a program that teaches you to coach at the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious levels, because that's really where all learning and change resides. And it's so important to have that integrated approach. I think the thing is as well, I would also say that when choosing a certification, I mean, I don't like to turn up to any kind of professional development experience and be one of 50 or 100 people in a crowded room with bad coffee when no one knows my name. I really like to be immersed in an environment which is small group, where I'm not a number, I'm a face, I'm a name, I'm a living, breathing human being, and I can, develop relationships and friendships with the people that I'm training with, and then I know that I'm fully supported. And I think that's something that's really important there. Look for a company that has the values around integrity, around support, around contribution, and around really helping you to be the best coach that you can be. Because I think the thing is, once you find an organization that has all of these things, you're going to graduate not just with a certificate, but with genuine skill, credibility, and confidence. I think the interesting thing as well is that, this discussion has been ongoing around accredited and being an unregulated industry. And I really think that coaching potentially is going to become more regulated, especially with the advent of AI. I'm doing a presentation early next week on the future of coaching with AI, and I will also record a podcast, so come back for that next week. But I think the thing is that the coaching industry will start to become more regulated, and we're noticing, and certainly I'm noticing, and our students are noticing, that corporates, governments, and educational institutions are now requiring ICF credentialed coaches, whether that is, rightly or wrongly, because there are some excellent coaches out there without credentials. But I think it's becoming recognized that there has to be some way of regulating, some way of knowing that a coach can offer quality and can actually offer what their marketing suggests that they can offer. I think the trust economy, like trust online, has declined quite a bit because we have had people who are great at marketing but not delivering. And so I think that if you are thinking about developing your coaching skills, or you're new to the industry and a new coach or an aspiring coach, then, I would always suggest that you start off on the right foot with a robust program at the outset. Otherwise, you're going to spend more time and more money in the future, because you will recognize, as some of the people that come to us once they've completed certifications elsewhere, you'll recognize that what you have trained in isn't enough to actually make that difference that you want to make. So you really want to be able to future-proof your coaching practice in that way. So, if today's episode has sparked something in you and you're ready to become a qualified, confident, and transformational coach, then I'd love to invite you to explore the Mindset Coach certification at the Mindset Coach Academy. And whether that is our ACC, PCC, or Master Mindset Coach, please do check out all those different options. As I say, all fully accredited, all multi-accredited and recognized globally, because whatever program you choose, you'll graduate with multiple globally recognized certifications, business building support, and the skills to change lives, starting with your own. I'm Lara Young. This is the Mindset Coach podcast. Until next time, keep making mindset matter. That wraps up today's episode of the Mindset Coach podcast. I hope you found it as inspiring and informative as I did. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow coaches. Your support helps us reach more people and continue to bring top-notch content every week. Remember, you can always learn more about our ICF and multi-accredited Mindset Coach certification program, our coaching membership, and other training opportunities by visiting mindsetcoachacademy.com. Thank you for tuning in and keep striving to become the best coach you can be. Until next time, this is Lara Young signing off. Stay motivated and keep transforming lives.